Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Here we go. How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for tuning in to another Daily Fitness live stream show. Today we got a good show going on for y'all today. We did a show last week. Trying to get these every, Tuesdays and Thursdays to be the best days to get these things kicking off all those days. Well, it might be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We might continue doing these shows. But other than that, how's everybody doing? How is your week going thus far? It is hump day. Yes, hump day. That means it's the middle of the week. So hopefully you're at your job, you're almost off work, time to almost go home, but you're at that home stretch. If you're on the East Coast, it's 2:20. And if you're on the West Coast, it is 11:20. So Jesus, that's probably not too savvy, but hey. You're almost there. You're almost there. Keep pushing, keep fighting. But in the meantime, we got a good show tuned on for you today. If you don't know, we simultaneously stream on 4 different channels. We're on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and Rumble. So if you're on any of those links, go ahead and type in Daily Fitness and you will find me on any one of those channels. If you have a hard time finding me on any one of those, just click the link tree and all the links with little bitty icons on top. You just click the thing and then you'll find your boy Truly. And you'll see me live streaming right now because we got a good show tuned up for you today. Yes, we do. Got a very interesting show to get into. Of course, we're going to tune into some fitness fails like we always do. We always got to see the fitness fails that's going on and see how people are, handling themselves in the gym. And then we're going to go over the muscle of the day. We're going to see what the muscle of the day is today and kind of go over a particular muscle that probably you don't know much about and learn and get a little bit more into it and provide a little value to it and see the anatomy and how it works and all that good stuff. Then we're going to go into the economy portion of the show, which then is going to tune into what the World Economic Forum is doing. Yes, the World Economic Forum has got some plans for the future, and I don't think it includes you. I mean, maybe it does. If rolling in billions and trillions, then hey, you're included. But otherwise, yeah, it might sound good, but it might not be the best plan for everybody. And then we're going to slide over and we're going to go in and talk about AI. Now, AI is going to be very interesting today. Today, the topic of AI is going to be a really, really good one because we have the Shopify. Who is he? He's the Shopify owner, founder, CEO. Who is he? CEO of Shopify. Yes. The CEO of Shopify basically said there's no need to hire any more human employees until we can find out if AI can do the job or not. And I'm just thinking to myself, sheesh. Yes, he said no new hires unless AI can prove that it cannot do the job. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, it's not looking too shabby. Looks like AI is about to dominate the landing scape. And speaking of AI dominating and the CEO not hiring anybody else unless AI can prove to do the job, what's going to make the job market even harder is also in the economy portion of the show I forgot to talk about was that Trump has just administered that starting in May, I believe it's Cinco de Mayo, that the student loans will pick back up and they will start garnishing wages. Jesus Christ. Yeah, buddy, he's going to pick up the student loan that's been postponed for the past, I don't know, was it 1 year, 2 years? I forget how long. We'll go into detail with it later. But yes, people will be having to pay back those student loans if you're delinquent. And basically the equivalent of what's about to happen with these student loan payments, if you read into it, you're just going to be on child support just in a different way. So, yeah, it's looking bad. But with all that being said, man, hopefully you're having a good day. You're halfway through your week. And if you're feeling bad, always remember what Mr. Chow says.
Having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And if you didn't and you're still here, then be grateful, be happy, and be proud that you're able to make it through another day. Whether you're struggling, striving, or just trying to stay alive, and just be grateful that you at least get to live this beautiful gift we call life. Yes, 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 of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. with that being said, my mic turned up. Yes. With that being said, just know that we are simultaneously streaming, and if you want to contribute to today's show, it is right there. There's the Cash App. Daniel2888 is the Cash App. Venmo is going to be Danny. Oh my God, Danny-Daniel-00 if you want to contribute to today's show. And if you're on YouTube or whatnot, do me a favor on YouTube, and if you see it come up like it's supposed to, hit that like button on YouTube and Rumble or whatever else platform that you're on. Hit those like buttons, get the algorithm out, and all that good stuff. If you're on YouTube, I believe super chats are open as well. If you'd like to do a super chat and contribute to today's show, it's greatly appreciated. Helps do good engagement because I will read your super chats. And if you message me on Cash App and Venmo, I will read those as well out publicly to everybody. And if you don't, it's all good. I'm going to read them regardless because it makes for a good show. Hopefully that you stay on topic and don't, talk about some complete bullshit, because then, yes, I will hit you with the we just don't have time for that, basically. So with that being said, we got the introduction out of the way. We kind of know what's going on and where we are headed in the direction of today's show. And before we get started, let me take a swig of this water I have right here. Yes, we have a copper water bottle from yours truly. We need to keep the minerals in the body, so just give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. We nice, well, and hydrated. I try not to, make too many sounds because, swallow too hard. You can hear it in the microphone. It sounds pretty damn gross. Yeah. Yeah, it's nasty. But anyhow, let's go ahead and kick off today's show. So let's go ahead and start off with the first topic of today, which is the fitness topic. We're going to start going over fitness fails, and we're also going to go over Greg Doucette, who's going to talk about how people are doing in the fitness world, and going to speak on, the ups and downs of being natty or not, and people who go natty, and how people perceive people who do natty workouts and live a life of being natural, natty meaning natural, people who live a life being natural, and how people's perspectives shift because we see people juiced up on steroids all day long on the internet, on TRT, Trend, Anavar, you name it, people are on it. But like I always say, if you're on gear, then your bank account is looking pretty litty. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you ain't natty, your pockets is fatty. There it goes. There it is. That's what I meant to say. That's how it goes. If you ain't natty, your pockets is looking fatty. That sounds about right, though. Yeah, that's really how today's world works in the fitness world. If you ain't natty, your pockets is probably looking fatty. Not 100% guarantee, but it seems like everybody who starts injecting themselves and altering their body with man-made chemicals, boy, their finances go through the roof. But I digress. Let me calm down. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get past all that. Let's go ahead and get to the first portion of the show. So let me go ahead and get this pulled up for you right here. We're going to start off with the fails. Let me refresh the screen because, YouTube might hit us with an ad right in the middle of our stuff because I haven't decided to get premium yet just because I don't know why. I haven't. But with that being said, we are A-OK. We can pick up right here where we left off. Oh, well, thought I could, thought I would, and bam, there we are. This is where we were last on the last time we saw this. I'm going to watch a little bit more of it. If it's too much music playing, I got to cut the music off and we'll just watch it and I'll commentate on it as we go. Don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube because, ain't got time for all that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen and react to the first video and make sure we got the right banner. Bam, wrong banner. There's the right one. There we go. All right, now that we got all this going, let's check these people out and see how they're doing in the gym. Take it away.
Bro just invented the gentleman's bench press.
Oh!
Damn.
At this point, his face is the unofficial barbell rack.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I've done something similar to that, but it was on an incline bench press. See, back in the day, whenever I used to lift weights in high school, we didn't have these smooth, gentle grip bars that these gyms have nowadays. Like back in the day, our gym bars were like rigid. They were like all barred, and they were like the color of copper or rust, and they had like really like sharp, rigid points on them and stuff like that. Just the bars were made different back in the day. As time progressed, got modern, you know, they cared more about your skin and the delicacies of your hands. So now if you go to the gym and then you go and touch somebody, it feels like your hand is still smooth as a baby's ass. But I digress. But back when I used to lift weights in high school, I did it. We had an incline bench, and the bar, the way the bar was, it had these rigid, like, I don't know what you call them, like mini spikes or something across the middle of the bar, right where your right here where your head would be. It's like right in the middle of the bar. So your hands out here, and you got this rigid spot like right here. Anyway, doing the incline bench, whatever, doing them. I get to the point where I gotta push up last time. I guess I'm getting tired, and I thought that I had it to where I could clink it back, but when I did and I clinked back, I guess I missed, and clearly my spotter wasn't. My spotter was just on some BS. I missed it, and it came down and boom, scraped right here on my forehead, right here. Now let me tell you, I had a mark on my head for like the next, oh my God, that was like a month or two, because once it scratched here. And it was, you want to talk about being embarrassed to going to school with a scar on your head for God knows how long. I got roasted till no end, and it never stopped. It was horrible. Oh boy, high school had some horrible moments, and that was one of them, because every time somebody talked to me, they would make eye contact with me, and then they would do this. Look right up. It was bad. It was bad, man. It was bad. Like, yeah, it was a sad day. I almost cried, but I didn't. But I made it through. Round of applause. All right, let's continue this video. Here we go.
Ah, yes. Textbook deadlift. If the textbook was written by a chiropractor. In search of the first herniated disc.
Ooh.
Bonus points for the flip-flops.
That sounded
because
bad.
nothing says serious lifter like beachwear in the gym. In front of girls is crazy. Bro lost his chance and his dignity. He was spamming the reset button like his life depended on it. Now he's scrambling through his pockets, searching for redemption change.
Bruh.
Inflation hits harder than bro did. Stealth mode activated.
Oh.
Mission avoid
Oh.
with the camera at all costs. He really thought he was sneaky.
Oh,
Until
man.
the workout turned into a self-defense drill.
She almost hit him in his balls.
Good thing they weren't set to
close.
sport mode. Some shoe
close.
brands are taking notes.
Bro, come over here. Check out my new shoes.
Wow, your
Bro
Crocs.
just discovered Crocs have a cheese pull. Getting ready for that expert level forest walk. Gotta respect the bugs.
Wait.
Dude's been at it for an hour.
Daddy, chill.
He saw the camera and knew he had to say something. That's high IQ Riz right there. Then he tried the handstand and instantly regretted
Uh-oh,
it.
you do
He
it.
didn't even need to roast him. His head made sure of that.
Oh,
Here
come
doing
on,
max
bruh.
effort temper tantrums. 5 sets of, I don't want to play this game no more. This
What the
has
hell
got
is he
to be
doing?
the most awkward one to do in a regular gym.
Ah, why they do that? Oh, whatever. All right, well, I ain't gonna lie. These fitness ones is kind of sucking. They ain't all that entertaining to me right now. They're not doing too shabby. They're kind of like, they're like womp womp. And you can clearly tell that this last dude here was about to dunk his head on the ceiling, of course. It was all plain and scripted. Like, come on, buddy. What are we doing here? That is just stupid. What did you expect was going to happen? Yeah. Anyway, this is a bad idea. Yeah, well, you were doing that for the camera. Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, we're going to move past this one because I'm not really feeling these things here no more. These is kind of like womp womps. Normally, I would give a hand clap for people in the gym. You know what? I'm going to still give a hand clap for people in the gym. You know what? Round of applause to y'all. Good for y'all. But I ain't gonna lie. Those one kind of sucked. But also what we forgot to do today real quick for the camera, just real fast. For the camera, as you see, your boy got a fresh new hairdo. So we got to acknowledge this. Give me like 2 seconds. We're going to give a quick acknowledgement. As a matter of fact, we ain't got to take the headphones off. We just going Bam, boy, looking fresh and fantastic. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Next video that we have here is going to be Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette is going to speak on people who are natty and versus the comments of people who basically make fun of people who are natural because they're so used to seeing people juiced up on steroids. So Greg's going to sit down and speak and kind of go over, read some of these comments, and we're going to see how people perceive people who actually have a natural look and are so used to just aesthetic looks of a steroid person that, you know, people are just bagging on these people for taking the natural route. But, you know, it's the world we live in. You know, we live in an artificial world. We got artificial food and artificial clouds and artificial muscles and artificial perception. Everything is artificial. You name it, it's fake. But hey, at the end of the day, do what you do, enjoy it, live your life the way you want to. Let's go ahead and pull this up. And before we do, let me just refresh it just in case they try to hit me with an ad. Exactly, just like I thought they would, but we're all good. And what do you know? It's the guy who does the ad about pooping. It's pretty gross. But yeah, take care of your gut health. But anyway, we got Greg up here. So shout out to Greg Doucette. So fair use on that. And we're going to go over this video. So it's going to pull up on a screen. As you see right here, it says, I've trained 3 to 5 times a week for 12 plus years. And this is what I look like. Now, one thing in my humble opinion, you know, we all know genetics plays a good role in your fitness. However, also your diet plays a huge role in your fitness. So you got to understand how to eat. One of the best ways you can figure out how to eat is the bodybuilders. Yeah, we know that they take steroids and they juice, but those steroids do have to be put to use with diet, nutrition, and actual work that they put in the gym. So if you have an actual diet that's going to help you, you know, bulk up, build muscle, and then you cut and still understand the numbers and the macros and how it works to build your muscles on a cut or keep your muscles or maintain and cut the fat to be able to see the muscle that's underneath. I mean, that makes a world of a difference. You know what I mean? So you're seeing this, working out 3 times a week, 5 times a week for 12 years and look like this. Your diet plays a role and your genetics do too. So, but at the end of the day, always remember this. Because you look like that and you don't look bad, that has nothing to do with how strong you are or your strength. Because, you know, people think like because you bench 250 pounds or 300 pounds that makes you strong, which it makes you strong, but you know, you compare that strength to a fighter strength and it's just a different ball game. But I digress. Let's go ahead and go over and let Greg take it away. So here we go, fair use.
I've trained 3 to 5 times a week for 12 years, and this is what I look like. Wasted 6 years, to be honest. You look like a guy that worked out never. Coach Greg, and in today's video, if you see an amazing physique, you wish he ascended to the planet of steroids. But if you see an average physique or decent physique, you think he goes to the gym only to hit the showers. If you have an amazing...
That was funny. All right.
Physique, well, you're obviously a fake natty. And if you don't have one, well, why do you even bother? And so if you compare the physiques of today with the physiques of old, it keeps getting harder. The temptation to use PEDs is greater than ever. Now, yeah. I keep hearing this. And
it's sad because now you got these young kids out here that's like 20 years old. They got ED and they're taking all these drugs. They're taking on these drugs and enhancements, and then they're you know taking the honey pill and the gas station erection pills and all these things, and it's like that's not it, Chief. You shouldn't be needing to do that. It doesn't. No, I mean you could just be dealing with the wrong girl if you just you can't get an erection at that age. It could be anything. You could be nervous. You could be inexperienced, but you know what I mean? It could be a number of things, but to pack on a bunch of drugs on top of it to fix it ain't the key. But, young kids nowadays, they unfortunately live in a world where you don't know you're not coached or you're not taught about longevity. It's now or never. Like, now is the time. The future, don't worry about it. And you know, we're going to see the effects of this lifestyle in 10, 20, 30 years, and you know how it's going to play out. But let's continue. Here we go. Where'd it go? There it is.
For the most part, it's true, but in reality, it's always been really bad. I was born in 1975. I grew up with, basic idols that never had any muscle. And so when I was growing up, I never had any temptation to have an amazing physique. I mean, He-Man, he looked absolutely reasonable to me. He-Man, he never had a small waist. He never had a lot of muscle. And bro, did you know that He-Man was actually Adam, except with a better tan? If He-Man wasn't enough, well, I mean, Rambo, he wasn't shredded. Rocky, he never had any muscle. And there's this guy, can't remember his name, the GOAT. You know, that guy, he appeared in Conan the Barbarian, Terminator, and so on. Oh yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you think it's only been a problem right now? It's always been a problem. Oh, and Hulk Hogan, he was natural, right? Say your prayers,
Hulk Hogan was not natural. That's not true.
take your vitamins. And what about the Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man? None of my idols growing up had any muscle. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay.
It's always been bad. But for some reason in 2025, people now have it out to put other people down. They do it on purpose. Case in point, I've trained 3 to 5 times a week for 12 years, and this is what I look like. Bro looks amazing. He has probably under 15% body fat. He has muscle. He's good at cardio. And he looks amazing even under bad lighting. How many of you wish you look like this? Almost everyone watching this video does not have a physique as good as this. And if you do, well, congratulations, you're in the top 1%. But yet, here are some of the comments. There's better ways of admitting you have no idea what you're doing. Going to the gym don't mean you work out. As if these aren't amazing results. And so the problem is, people's expectations are through the roof. They see guys like Sam Sulek, Chris Bumstead, and so on, and they're thinking, everyone can get a physique like that, well, as long as you're blasting steroids. What happens?
Yeah.
People go to the gym, they don't get the results they're expecting, and what do they turn to? Performance-enhancing drugs.
And a lot of times when people go to the gym and they don't get the results that they're expecting, I personally did this for years and years and years and years and years until I finally bit the bullet. Like, you go in and you think like, oh, okay, I just got to eat this and eat that and, do this and do that. And, and you don't see the results that you want to get until you actually take the time and go to the people who actually do this. I finally, like, whenever I first started, I actually took the time. I said, you know what? I want the physique. I'm going to stop being, stubborn and actually go to a coach who knows what they're doing. I'm going to look at somebody and actually go in. And I went and actually took a bodybuilding course. I went to a bodybuilder who does bodybuilding, and I was like, hey, I actually want to do it. I don't want a bodybuilder to be on stage, but I want to know what it takes and what do you guys do to actually get the physique. And once you see it and you actually understand the discipline that it takes, the macros that you have to hit, and you understand the calories into the macros and then the workouts that you do. Once you see it and you get it, you're like, that's why I wasn't getting the desired results. Because technically speaking, you were just winging it. You were trying to figure it out on YouTube, but to actually have somebody go through it with you and you having to understand the concept of trust the process, because it is a process. It ain't something that you're just going to do in a month or two. It's just not. And that's what the PEDs come in. That's what the Tren and the Anavar and all that stuff come in. People don't want to wait. They just want it right then and there. And for women, women take it and it ruins their anatomy. They get deeper voices and, the jawlines start changing and they start getting all manly and stuff. But, if they get the money on the bet, if they get the money for it, then hey, it is what it is. I guess they got what they wanted, so I can't knock them for it. And then the guys on the other end, they do it. And, it just has this spiral effect. But once you sit down and figure out what it is that you need to do, and you get an actual bodybuilding coach like I did at the very, very, very beginning and figured it out, I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw what food does to your body when you work out. It all made sense. At that point, it all made sense. It showed how bad bread was to your body. It showed how bad sugary drinks was to your body. It showed how much you need water and rest. It showed all those things, how important food with no ingredients are. And I'm not talking about seasoning. I'm saying like no ingredients. Like try to not eat nothing in a bag, basically. Once you put all that together and you actually finally did it, then you're like, oh, and you achieve it. You're like, wow, it takes dedication. It takes sacrifice. And then you'll actually feel really good at the end of the day too. So yeah, shout out to him.
This man has above average genetics. He has absolutely,
And genetics do play a role.
unequivocally, an above average physique. And so if you go to the gym and you don't look like this, that's to be expected. Most people who train their entire lives are not going to look like this. 12 years of bullshitting. What if his goal was to be at 15% body fat or less and have
Well, people in the comments are evil.
as much muscle as possible? How do you know that wasn't his goal? Or to be healthy? And up next, he's been training 4 days a week for only 6 years. And so what are the comments? And before we read them, is this not a great physique? Clearly under 15% body fat, looks very healthy. He has muscle. He's not shredded single-digit body fat, but definitely healthier than last time. Probably a top 1% physique. And so clearly without a pump and regular lighting, he's not going to be as impressive, but under the proper lighting with a pump, he's going to look bigger than last time. The first
Lighting makes a hell of a difference too. So, don't be fooled. Lighting makes all the world of a difference. Women have mastered this. I'll tell you that. They have mastered the art of lighting and angles. They mastered it to a T. So yes, all that stuff makes a difference. And how you look walking around versus how you look after a pump working around, all that stuff makes a difference. You see him right here. He may not look like this 24/7 when he's walking around, but after a workout in a pump, he'll look good.
First comment I see, wasted 6 years to be honest. How? The fact that he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger or Chris.
And a lot of times people talking trash about you like this is probably somebody who is, number one, a bot. Number two, it could be a government employee whose personal job is to actually create multiple social media accounts to talk trash over the internet and cause chaos and hate. Or number three, just a complete nobody who doesn't even care about what it is that you do. They just want to talk trash because they can on the internet. It could be any of those.
Bumstead Sam Sulik, that means he wasted his time. 6 years to look like this. What is wrong with that? How is this bad? Most people, as in 99%, don't look this good. And so how is it bad to be in the top 1% physiques? To be honest, bro, you could have done this in 3 years. You must not have trained seriously. Really? How do you know that he didn't put in as much work as he possibly could? How do you know what his genetics really are? And so to the same extent, there are many people that...
Yeah, don't take the comments personally. If you go on a fitness journey, don't take the comments personally. Or if you're going, really, not even fitness, if you're going any business endeavor, any business journey, don't take the comments seriously. Don't take them seriously. Just take it with a grain of salt. Push your content out, and then get off social media and continue on with your day and keep pushing. Don't worry about the comments, unless somebody's trying to give you constructive criticism that you could apply and actually use. Then take it for what it is. But other than that, man, don't let nobody hurt your feelings, because you don't even know if it's a bot, a real person, or like for example, look at this picture, look at this profile picture. Who is it? You don't know, so don't take it personal.
Seriously. Really? How do you know that he didn't put in as much work as he possibly could? How do you know what his genetics really are? And so to the same extent, there are many people that train 6 years and don't look nearly as good. And so what are you going to tell those people? You wasted your time? You shouldn't even bother?
Why they do me like that? Oh, crap. Okay. But anyhow, yeah, we're going to finish up on the rest of this video. But yeah, he basically on point. Don't let anybody talk crap to you on the internet about what it is that you're doing. It's your goal. You achieve it. You do what you do, and you feel good about whatever it is that you're doing. Don't let nobody bother you about that, man. Focus on your journey. Focus on your goal. At the end of the day, they're just distractions trying to take you off your pivot. So, yeah, screw them.
Want to put other people down. Oh, it took you 6 years to do that with your training. Well, I did it in 1 year, training only 3 days a week. Yeah, and perhaps you use steroids. Remember this, Comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly.
If we put 1,000 people into a gym and we had them work out, we're going to get 1,000 different results. Just because one guy got amazing results in their first year doesn't mean the other 999 are going to do the same.
True.
Everyone has different genetics. Some people have amazing genetics. They can put on muscle very easily, while others struggle to do the same. You've just been going to the gym to shower for the past 6 years. As in, you don't even work out.
Oh my God, that's evil. That is evil. It's that bro just goes to the gym just to shower. Like, come on, really? That's they called him a peeping Tom. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's just evil. That's evil. Come on now. That's cold-blooded. That is cold-blooded. Bro just goes to the gym just to shower.
Please subscribe. If you subscribe to my channel, you're getting a free diet and training program, no charge to you.
Oh no, we're not.
No reason, and say you look like shit. You look like a guy that worked out. Never. You probably just showered. I could have done it in a year. And so let's put that person down. Why? Why are we doing this when there are tons of people, guys who've been training in the gym for years?
Like I said, it could be a bot. It could be a government employee. You never know, so you just don't take it personal. Smile, laugh, and just be grateful that they commented and they helped your algorithm.
They're perhaps 100 pounds overweight. They don't have any muscle. They're perhaps an ectomorph. They're trying to one day put on some muscle. They struggle. Why are we making the gym such a toxic environment for people to want to be a part of? Up next is starting point, 21% body fat. Bro looks to have a decent amount of muscle, a little bit of body fat on top of it, but not all that bad. And so you can see 19% beginning to get leaner, the waist getting smaller, continues to diet down, posing for men's physique, and clearly getting leaner. 15%, starting to look pretty good, getting the six-pack, 13% body fat, getting leaner. Remember, he doesn't even have a proper tan. Down to 11%, looking exquisite, 10% body fat. Bro now with the abs, the obliques, single-digit body fat, looking astounding, getting shredded, diced, and finishes his diet 5% body fat. Perhaps he's only about 6. He's not flexing the legs, but look at the detail in the abdominals. And so shows his journey from start to finish from 20% body fat, which is kind of average, to a shredded.
Hey. Good job, sir. Good job. It's not easy to do. It really ain't easy to do.
Single-digit body fat. Many people in the comment section saying, yeah, your body fat went down, but are you happy? You look depressed. You're smiling less. And so here's the thing. Remember, 5% body fat, this is not healthy. This is for competition. It's for a moment in time. But my advice to everyone, halfway there. The ideal attractive physique, it's not 5, 6, 7, 8% body fat. Many people you think you need to be shredded. It's actually 10 to 12% body fat. They've studied this. You don't need to be mind-blowing shredded, peeled in order to look attractive. But 20% for most people, it's a little bit heavier than ideal. 5%, it's a little bit too lean. Somewhere in the middle. And so halfway through this transformation, perhaps when he was starting to see a visible six-pack, perhaps that is his ideal body fat for the long haul. Some people saying, hey, you look the best at 20%. Listen, to each their own. Some people prefer the dad bod, if you will. Some people prefer a little bit more body fat. And typically, this is how it works. If you're fat yourself, you think that other people who are fat kind of look good. And why do you think that is? Because you can't get a lean person. You can't get them. If you're shredded, you most likely appreciate the work that went into it and you like other people are shredded. And so if you're walking around...
That's true. That is, I agree. Because when you get shredded, you kind of look at you like you know what it took to get there. You know what I mean? Like you really did that. Like, good job on you. You had to sit down and actually like do some work to get there. So I get that.
30% body fat, you're more likely to make fun of the people who have single-digit body fat and say, oh, I don't like that look. I'm not into it. I don't like people who go to the gym. They're too full of themselves. But if you go to the gym, you work out 6, 7 days a week, you appreciate the effort, and you do, in fact, like that look. We like people who are similar to ourselves. If you're into bodybuilding, you're most likely going to like other bodybuilders. If you ride bikes, you like other cyclists. If you're into running, you're going to like to talk to people who also run. If you study Bitcoin, you watch Coach Greg and chill, you're going to like the people who have similar interests to that of your own. Here's the thing, with weight loss, you can't spot reduce from where you want it. Perhaps he looked better when his face at 10% body fat, he continued to diet down, but you can't decide where your fat is going to come from. And as you get older, fat typically goes away from your face faster than from your body. And so, for example, a 40-year-old athlete, 50 years old, who go on a diet, they're going to look a lot worse in their face on a diet than when somebody is only 20. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, age takes its course. I could feel him on that. That makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah. If you've seen like older people who do bodybuilding up in the higher ages, yeah, that's true.
Now, in the worlds of cosmetics, yes, people get fillers, Botox, and so on, but you can't lose fat from your body without losing it from your face. And so will you in fact lose some of your looks maxing from getting your body fat too low? Well, it depends. Some people don't like that look, while others, they like it. Some people like a chiseled jawline. Other people, they like faces a little bit more plump. My advice, don't listen to the comments. There are so many haters, keyboard warriors sitting there trying to do anything to tear you down. Don't let other people define you as a person or decide your self-worth. And remember,
Hey, coach. Tell him, Greg.
if you're looking for coaching plans by myself and my team, you can looking to coach more people than last time and the free diet. Don't forget.
Nah. We can't give you all that. We can't give you all that. But for the most part, man, shout out to him. Yes, shout out to him. Because for sure, that is a thing. That is a thing. You will get a lot of haters and all that, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's comfortable for you. And that one guy who did the body fat percentage, where he started with like 21% body fat or something, he just went down. That right there is a good analogy, a good way to look at what are you most comfortably at as far as weight goes. Because not everybody sees, beauty in the eye of the beholder, or not everybody likes the same thing whenever it comes to the aesthetics. So some people thought, hey, the 20 looked great, and some people were like 15 was kind of their area, 12. Some people like the single digits, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9. But he said also, when you get to that single digit body fat, you start to like actually feel, worse at that single digit body fat, simply because of just, having to maintain and cut and the eating and how strict it is. You don't feel as good, but it is what it is. But you had a good measure to see where your preference was in that range. You know what I mean? Like you said, 7's too lean, 20 might be too much, somewhere in the middle. So like a 12 or 13% body fat, I would say 12. I think 12 would be good. 12% body fat, I think. Matter of fact, let's take a look at what he looked like at 12. Where's that guy at? Where is he at? He went through the stages right here. Here we go. So we got him. We'll start him back at 20. Here we go. Let's put him
Cutting
back
out
up
alcohol and sugar is a dumb...
Shut up. We're going to put him back up on the thing, and let's see where he starts off at 20 and get him down to see where is a good desired one out. Let's see right here. So here he is at 20 right here. He's going down. That's 21. 19. 18. All right, we're at 17, 16, 15, let's see, 14, 13, what we got? I think 12 is straight. Oh, come on. 11 would be good. Yeah, I would say 10 to 13. 10 to 13. Well, yeah, I would say 10. I'm going to go with 10. I think 10 would be my ideal, personally. I would say 10. 10 would be, yeah. I think 10 would be because you can see the side obliques and everything, and you can see all the outline. Yeah, I would say 10. 10 would be my comfort zone. 10, you know what I mean? Right above the single digits. 10 would be right where it's at. 10 would be the Because then at that point, to me, you're looking like you're just getting too skinny. So 10% body fat, 11% body fat at the most is where I will try to keep that range. And the discipline it takes to keep that as well will keep you at an even keel. You know what I mean? You won't be too hungry. You won't be starving. All that stuff. Yeah, that would be me. But yeah, shout out to Greg on Coach Greg on all that, man. That was legit. Yes. Thought I heard something. Somebody out there talking. Oh well. Maybe I'm tripping. Anyway, yes, let me see. Where is this thingy at? Where is it? Did I pull it? Oh, I don't think I pulled it up. Let's see. I think I had something I was supposed to pull up, but I didn't. There we go. Okay, cool. We got it right there. Yeah, we're good to go. So, anyway, so with that being said, Coach Greg basically just came through and just spoke on that. So, yes, we appreciate him for that. We thank him for that. The next thing we're going to go on is the muscle of the day. Yes, the muscle of the day, which is going to be, what's going to be a muscle of the day? Let's see. The muscle of the day is going to be the rhomboids. Pull up for you right there, rhomboids. Those are going to be your muscles of the day. I'm going to read this off to you as this video plays. So fair use by Bodyworks Prime. And we're going to look at the muscle of the day and see what it is all about. So we have the rhomboid muscles. Pair muscles in your upper back play a key role in scapular, shoulder blades, movement. And yes. Get the baby off the screen. Yes. Let me get that off the screen. I forgot to refresh it. Yeah, we're going to get YouTube Premium on here because, yeah, we can't have no ads. Ads is kind of killing me. But let me pull that back up for you real quick. Let's start that over. So the rhomboids, they are the muscle or a pair of muscles in your upper back that play a key role in scapular, shoulder blade movement, and postural stability. Overview of what these things will be. And as you can see, it's talking about your spinal cords, T2, 3, 4, and 5. The origin of the rhomboid major. The origin is a spinous process of T1 through T5 vertebrae, which is what you're seeing right there on the screen. So you're seeing the point of origin of the rhomboid major. Yes, and that's where the insertion is. And then, that's where the origin is. The insertion is going to be the medial border of the scapula between the spine of the scapula and the inferior angle, which we're seeing right there. Yes, we got that right there. So we're also seeing that as well. Let me get that off the screen. There we go. So there's going to be your insertion, and you're getting a nice little representation, a crosshair to show you exactly where it's going to be. So that's the medial border of the scapula between the spine and the scapula of the inferior angle. And then if you want to do the rhomboids minor, the origin would be on the ligaments and the spinous process of C7 and T1. So that's where that would be for the rhomboids minor, and the insertion for the rhomboids minor will be the medial border of the scapular spine. They lie deep in the trapezius and superficial of the deeper erector spinae muscles. The function of the the function of the rhomboids is scapular retraction, which is adduction, where you pull your shoulder blades towards your spine together like this, like this. And then the scapular elevation and downward rotation. You lift the medial border of the scapula and rotate the glenoid cavity downward, supporting proper shoulder alignment. The postural support. It counteracts forward rounding of the shoulders is what it does. And let's see if we can have another example right here without that guy on the screen. No, we can't. So we'll run that back real quick right here. And the weakness or inhibitions, these are some common issues that these muscles have, is going to be it leads to roundness of shoulder, poor posture, and can contribute to neck and upper back pain, which if you've had like a knot right there deep in your back before, you try to get like a tennis or a racquetball and net that knot out, it could be from stress. And also overactivity or tightness can accompany trapezius dysfunction and may and may present a upper back tightness. Exercises to target the rhomboids are going to be the prone T raises, the seated or bent over rows, face pulls, and the scapular retractions on a pull-up bar. So yes, those will be your 4 muscles that'll help. Now, tips for activation and integration is going to be the mind muscle connection, warm-up activation, and posture checks. These are going to be the things that are going to help you focus, and really you should do that with all workouts and all muscles. Have a mind to muscle connection. Understand that whenever you're working out on a particular muscle, what it takes is going to be you connecting and understanding what muscle that you should be using whenever you're actually using a muscle to work out with. You have to understand the simple fact that each muscle does have a mind to muscle connection. And if you have too much weight that you're using, you won't be able to connect the mind to muscle because you might overcompensate with a stronger muscle and you're not actually using the actual muscles that you should be using. So that's one thing to always try to figure out. Use lighter use lighter weights and try a workout first. Figure out, like, for example, RDLs. Don't go heavy on RDLs. Go light and figure out what muscles you should be using. Then use a light weight that's moderately heavy, not heavy at all, but like more on the lighter heavy side than the heavy moderate side, and do that workout, but contract and use that muscle it's supposed to use, and then slowly but surely go up a little bit so you can still make sure that you're using that same muscle the entire time, so you're actually using the correct muscles that you're supposed to be using for each workout. So yeah, so that is going to be the muscle of the day, which is going to be the rhomboid. So hopefully you learned something of today. I gave you a value, and you know now that that muscle is particularly going to be for your shoulder blades. You know the origin and you know the insertion. You're welcome and thank you. Victory music. And real quick, we'll go ahead and watch a quick video of an anatomy of a body that's going to show you what the rhomboids look like. You know, basically, you're going to see a body that has been, I guess, drained of, you know, its blood. You know, people who donate their bodies and then they kind of do dissections on them and stuff, and you can actually see the muscle tissue, the veins, and the cartilage, and all that stuff. Yeah, you're going to see that, and you're going to see what it actually looks like underneath your skin without all the blood and gore and stuff. It's not very violent. You'll be okay. You can handle it. Shout out to the Anatomy Lab for letting us look at this. So we're going to go take a look at it for fair use. Pull up on the screen. This is the rhomboids from the Anatomy Lab. It's going to go into a full breakdown on how this works. So let's let them take it away. Here we go. Oh, do we have sound? Yeah, we got sound. Here we go.
Let's take a look at what's hiding underneath the trapezius muscle. There's 2 muscles here that you've probably heard of or at least familiar with when working out at the gym. Here's a muscle called the rhomboideus minor, and here is the rhomboideus major right here. Now the rhomboids, when they contract, they'll pull on the scapula because you can see they're attached to the scapula right here. And when they contract, that'll bring the scapula inwards towards the midline, and that's called adduction or retraction of the scapula. The most common exercise you see people doing at the gym to engage these muscles are things like cable rows. Let's take a look at what's hiding underneath the trapezius muscle. There's 2 muscles here that you've probably heard of or at least familiar with when working out at the gym. Here's a muscle called the rhomboideus minor, and here is the rhomboideus major right here. Now the rhomboids, when they contract, they'll pull on the scapula because you can see they're attached to the scapula right here. And when they contract, that'll bring the scapula inwards towards the midline, and that's called adduction or retraction of the scapula. The most common exercise you see people doing at the gym to engage these muscles are things like cable rows.
All right, so yes, that's going to be what the rhomboids look like underneath all of our skin. The trapezius on top, and underneath is the rhomboid, so it's a deep muscle, underneath muscle. And yeah, that's what it is right there. That's what we look like underneath our skin with no blood. That's what the muscles actually look like. And always remember that your muscles move your bones. You have bones. Think of bones as like, what do you think bones are like? Bones could be like how do I explain this in a simple term? Look at bones like your muscles help swing your bones. They help move your bones. So think of like your bones are like baseball bats, like a piece of a bat. Like your forearm muscle, this is a bat. Your your shin bone. Think of that as like a bat, and you use your muscles to swing these bones like a weapon. Like for example, like a Muay Thai fighter, they use their muscles to swing these bones and pause, and they're basically a way to either weaponize the body as a weapon, or a way to strengthen the bones is to actually break down the bone and let it heal itself, and it comes back stronger and stronger. So just remember that your muscles do move your bones. So all because you have big strong muscles does not mean that you have big strong bones. That is a huge misconception that people have. People think that because they got muscles that they also have strong bones. That is not true. It does make your bones stronger because you are lifting weights and stuff like that. However, you'll find out real quick your bones are not as strong as you think they are, and your muscles, in a sense, does kind of make you target practice for somebody who knows pressure points. But I digress. That doesn't change the fact that you need to stay fit and stay healthy and keep your ass in the gym. So with that being said, the value of the day is from the muscle of the day. Yes. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is going to switch over to the next segment of the show. We would go over humor, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to go straight to the economy portion of the show, and we're going to dive right into it. The economy portion of the show, we're going to talk about the World Economic Forum, but first we're going to start off with Trump, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the economy as far as Trump administering to resume collections on student loan borrowers and default. So let's go ahead and pull that up on the screen and change the banner real quick. Boom. Boom. There we go. We got that changed out. Got that microphone going. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start off with this. As you see on the screen right now, we have Trump. Trump is basically saying he is going to resume collections on student loan borrowers in default. This was April 21st, 2025. So 2 days ago from today. And yeah, it's not looking too good. We'll go ahead and read this and see what they're talking about. So we got, after a 5-year hiatus, the U.S. Department of Education says it will begin resuming collections of defaulted student loans on May 5th. Of the more than 42 million student loan borrowers in the U.S. who owe a collective $1.6 trillion. Ugh. You think they not finna collect that? You think they not finna collect that? 1.6 trillion? Bruh. I hate to say it, but I agree. I mean, put yourself in their position. If somebody owe you $1.6 trillion, at some point it's time to collect. I mean, the can has been kicked down the road for long enough, and they let it build up to 1.6 trillion. My God. All right, continue. The department says that more than 5 million have not made a payment in the past year. That number is expected to grow as an additional 4 million borrowers are approaching default status. So they're about to be at 9 million defaulters unless, something happens. American taxpayers will no longer be forced to serve as collateral for irresponsible student loan policies. The U.S. Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Oh, wow. McMahon? Is that right? Did I say it right? All right. The department said it will begin notifying borrowers who are in default via email over the next 2 weeks, urging them to make a payment or to enroll in a repayment plan, and referring them to a government website providing information on how to do so. Here we go. Let's keep going. Then on May 5th, the department will begin, referring borrowers who remain in default to a collections program run by the Treasury Department. Jesus. Oh my God. That's not good. And this could not have come at a worse time. A nonprofit group that aims to, those borrowers are already finding themselves having to navigate such incredible economic certainties over the last few months. That is true for sure. She also points out to the fact that older borrowers tend to face the greatest struggle in repaying their loans. Nearly 40% of federal borrowers over the age of 65 were in default on their student loans, according to a 2017 report from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Over 65 years old, 40% of them were in default. 40% of them are over 65. Bruh, that's about to be brutal. Let's keep going. These are older folks who are on a fixed income. When borrowers fall behind, their credit scores can take a hit, making it harder to qualify for more credit and other loans for things like housing and other basic needs. The Education Department said in its notice that later this summer, it will begin the process of garnishing wages, meaning paychecks would be automatically deducted from, oh my God, meaning payments would be automatically deducted from borrowers' paychecks. My God. Oh no, that's not good. That's going to put people in a serious, serious pickle. Oh man, oh man. You know what? Let me dive a little bit deeper into this and let's see what all this entails. Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. So let me just take a second and go back a little bit and see how bad it gets. All right, so here we go. So we got this. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. This is not good. Oh my God. Here we go. Check this out. Look at this. Trump admin will seize wages, pensions, tax refunds to repay student loans. Debt cannot be wiped away. Oh. Hoo-wee. You know what? They got a short, well, that's not a short clip. That's actually longer than I anticipated. We're not going to watch that whole clip. Bruh, that's brutal. Oh man, let's read it. Here we go. Those who default or refuse to pay their student loans could have their wages, federal pensions, and tax refunds garnished. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters in her weekly briefing that the Trump administration will go after those who didn't repay the loans instead of placing the burden on the taxpayer. I guess that's fair. The government can and will collect defaulted federal loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages. My goodness. Man, yo. This is going to have a hell of an effect. And they said May 5th. So May 5th, I believe, is Cinco de Mayo. So this is going to be brutal. I mean, like, yeah, this is going to be brutal. Let's keep reading. The Department of Education on Monday said it would resume collections on defaulted federal student loans in May for the first time since 2020.
Oh, no.
I don't know if student loans incur interest over time. If they incur interest, then bruh,
Oh, no.
it ain't looking good. The student loan portfolio is nearly 1.6 trillion, with fewer than 4 out of 10 borrowers up to speed with their loans. Altogether, the official stated that there are 4 million borrowers who are in the late stage delinquency stage on payments, meaning that they are between 91 and 180 days late on payments. This is unsustainable, unfair, and a huge liability for American taxpayers. Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly pay back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans? The Trump administration will never force taxpayers to pay student loan debts that don't belong to them. Golly.
Oh, no.
I mean, I get that. I get that. That's fair. You took the loan out. You got the education or not. Hey, man. Wow. Oh my gosh. in a few months. Wait, a few months. When was this article released? This article was released this is April 22, 2025. All right, here we go. In a few months, there could be almost 10 million people in default. The Biden administration attempted to bail out millions of student loan borrowers, but was blocked in some instances. Yeah, that didn't go out too well. American taxpayers will no longer be forced to service collateral for irresponsible student loan policies. The Biden administration misled borrowers. The executive branch does not have the constitutional authority to wipe away debt, nor do the loan balances simply disappear. Hundreds of billions have already been transferred to taxpayers. The Trump administration has long said that taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for trillions of dollars in student loan debt. Oh boy, man, when this kicks off, I mean, okay, so oh my goodness, good Lord. Oh,
What?
yeah, this is going to be a bad one. This is going to be a bad one. I mean, if you really think about it, right now you have high grocery bills, a lot of layoffs, a lot of people, getting fired or laid off, high grocery bills, electricity, or whatever you want to call it, has been going up like crazy. And now you're going to add this on top of it. Man, this is going to be brutal. And then a lot of the jobs are harder to right now. The job market is fierce. The job market is very hard for people to get a job right now. So with AI coming in, which we're going to go over that later, we're going to go over the AI on top of this right here. But AI in conjunction with this going on is going to make it harder for people to get jobs. You know what I mean? Like, think about, okay, let's take Walmart, for instance. All right. See, Walmart, remember back in the day, for those who can remember, Walmart had nothing but cashier lines, or any grocery store. We'll say Walmart in your grocery store in whatever state you're in. They had nothing but cashier lines. As time goes on, credit card payments become a thing. They start changing to what? Self-checkout. So now you got like 12 self-checkouts and you got one, maybe two people watching that whole checkout line. So those 8 to 12 self-checkouts could have been cashiers lines who had people who at least had a job. You could have had one bagging and the other one taking your money, or being your cashier and checking out your stuff. But those one or two jobs have now been replaced, and now one or two people are. So yeah, this is a huge recipe for disaster. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is a debt that you incurred, and a lot of people, I mean, I remember I spoke to a lady at this last job I worked at. This lady had to be in like her 50s or 60s, who she still had student loan debt in her 50s and 60s. She had been divorced and everything, still has student loan debt. Now, they just said 40% of the people who are in delinquency right now are over the age of 65. Now, if you're over the age of 65 and you're retired with student loan debt, they're going to take away your wages, your pensions, and your tax refunds to repay student loan debt. So whatever income you have coming in as a retiree, they're going to grab it. That's going to be brutal. Oh my gosh, that's going to be painful. Wow, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, wow, that's gonna be brutal, boy. So, like, man, this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. And I mean, if 40% is over 65, then I guess that leaves the remaining. Clearly, it leaves the remaining other 60% under 65. Then how will, because a lot of people who go to school and incur debt, right, with college or whatever, they usually don't work in the field that they get the degree in. A lot of times, I've seen that happen quite a few times with people who get the degree, but they don't end up working in the field that they got the degree in, but they may or they may not still have the debt. I mean, let's say you do have the debt and you're in the ages of like your 20s. In today's economy, where trying to get an apartment or trying to get a place is like 3 times the amount. So you got to have like $6,000 to $8,000 a month just to get approved of certain places. Like, how does that work? Then you're going to add this on top of it. Like, this is going to be it's going to be a bad one. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing that we have. The next thing we have is what? What do we have here? Let me click out of this. What is this? Next we have, oh yes, the World Economic Forum. If you don't know, the World Economic Forum is that basically people who decide how the world is going to turn, how the world is going to move and groove. And right here it says that they have the World Economic Forum. Our world, and it states that the world is facing a big question. Will trade protectionism, let me pull this up on the screen for you so you can see it. They're basically just letting you know right now that trade protectionism, or will trade protectionism become a long-term trend, or will AI make us more productive at work? No. And our societies prepared to care for aging populations? I don't think so. I don't think society is prepared to care for aging populations, especially if we just looked at over the age of 65, 40% of people are delinquent and their wages are going to get garnished. And the only time I've ever heard of wage garnishment in my life personally is child support. Child support will take your tax return. Child support will garnish your wages. Child support, if you hit the lottery, they come and grab their money first. Child support, if you get into a car wreck and you win a sum of money from that car wreck, that money go to them first before it gets to you. Brutal. So I'm wondering if that student loan repayment is basically taking the same precautions or basically following the same policies that child support takes on whenever you look at how to have the repayment. But the World Economic Forum is saying, is our society prepared to care for an aging population? Well, I mean, I'm speaking on the American society. I don't know how the rest of the world is doing when it comes to certain aspects, but I know in America, I don't think that's looking too shabby. While news moves fast, long-term economic trends take months, even years to emerge. To find out what major issues will shape the world's economic future, we sat down with chief economists. They name them right here. The World Economic Forum chief economists community, they discuss global economic trends and developments and publishes its outlook 3 times per year. And we're going to watch and see what they say. So here we go. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with the World Economic Forum and what these 3 chief executives say about it. So here we go. Fair use.
Ask some of the world's leading chief economists to look ahead and pick the trends they think will transform the economy as we know it.
We really are in the midst of this massive transformation.
How will major forces like trade shifts, changing demographics, and artificial intelligence shape our fast-moving world?
It's not that AI is new or machine learning is new, and what's new is the consumer orientation of that AI.
These experts explain.
So they said trade shift. What? Dang it, I didn't hear what they said. It was 3 things that trade shift, demographic, and AI. They said those are the 3 main things that are going to be a big deal as far as what they're paying attention to as far as trending. Trade shift. I mean, if they're talking about trade, we're looking at tariffs right now. So these tariffs are only a tax on the consumer. So there's that in a nutshell. Then you got demographics. Living in America, looking at demographics, there's a lot of immigrants here. A whole lot. So the demographics is changing. And for people who didn't grow up in America and understand the history and concept in America, they left their country to come to a better country for betterment. I can honestly say this. If you grew up in America, you understood how America was growing up as a kid. And as you get older and you see how it is now, the inflation, the cost of, and also it kind of depends on where you live, but and I live in the capital of Texas, so the inflation, the cost of living, and all that stuff that plays a part, and you're looking at the difference of these things from just pre-pandemic. If you're looking at all this stuff from pre-pandemic, you see a huge change in life. And now the people who are here now, what they see is normal to them from where they came from or from upon them arriving here. For what they see is normal, but growing up here, this shit ain't normal at all. Like Pre-pandemic, Walmart was 24/7. Pandemic happened, or after the pandemic, Walmart has a closing time. So it's like, I mean, was that a planned event to make sure, Walmart didn't want to get robbed at wee hours of the night and have police around 24/7? Because I think that would have been an issue if Walmart still remained open 24/7, looking at how much immigrants have came in. I'm not against anybody that's immigrant or nothing like that. I'm just stating the obvious fact on how things are going. So you got demographics, and then you got AI. I mean, AI is moving fast as hell, and people are not paying attention to it. It's scary and sad at the same time. It's moving super fast, and like I said, we're gonna get to it here in a little bit, and we're gonna get a better understanding on how this AI system is gonna work and how it's gonna go geared towards people, on how people are viewed as far as getting employment. Because like I said, the best example I could give you would be the Walmart and the cashier position. You had 20 cashier lanes, but now you're down to like, I don't know, 7 cashier lanes. And out of those 7 to 10 cashier lanes, probably only 3 or 4 be open at a time. And you got more self-checkouts and 1 or 2 people regulating the self-checkouts. You know what I mean? The AI keeps learning so fast that it starts to understand how it works, and it starts to adapt on its own, that eventually those people are going to be moved out of the way. So it just keeps going. So they're looking at trade, demographics, and AI. Like I said, trade, tariff, tax on the consumer, enough said. Demographics, the change in demographics as far as America goes. If you live here, you see it, you understand it, you know it. And then AI, and man, a lot of people don't have skills. And the skills that they do have is computer oriented. A lot of these kids didn't grow up with shop, where you did woodwork, or you worked on a car, you had like a mechanic class, or art skills are being taken away, to be quite honest with you, with AI. A lot of these kids don't have like a lot of the old school schoolings, like a what's the class, the home ec cooking class, learning how to basically, if you understand what home ec is, for those who don't know, home ec was a class that you could take where you learn how to cook, you learn how to basically do housely duties, basically. Like, I mean, one of the great classes you could take for anybody who wants to learn how to cook and how to maintain a household. Those things are gone. They don't understand that that's not a thing anymore. So it's getting crazy. But let's move on to the next slide here. We have the International Energy Agency, which is going to be, let me explain this to you. This is the world's the world's electricity consumption is forecast to rise at its fastest pace in recent years. This highlights the major changes taking place in energy systems around the world and approach of a new age of electricity. Makes sense. But it is also presents evolving challenges for governments in ensuring secure, affordable, and sustainable electricity supply. So let's see what this says. Here we go. And I got to read this because it doesn't read. So global electricity demand growth is set to accelerate in the coming years. Power-hungry sectors such as industry, air conditioning, transport, and data centers will drive a surge in demand. Here, I'll take the music off. I'll just read it as it comes along. Adding an amount greater than Japan's annual electricity use every year between now and 2027, most of the demand growth over the next 3 years will come from emerging and developing economies, with consumption in many advanced economies also expected to rise. Low emission sources such as nuclear and renewables are growing fast enough to meet the overall rise in power demand. But the use of different fuels and technologies will vary considerably depending on the country and region. Evolving challenges call for a clear focus on ensuring secure, affordable, and sustainable electricity. In April, the IEA and the UK government will convene an international summit on the future of energy security to address these issues and more. And then you learn more. So we got the energy issue that they're speaking on, that a lot of emerging markets are going to be using a lot of energy. So basically these new emerging markets that are going to be coming up and they're going to be on the rise, they're going to be growing and developing. So now they're going to be caught up to well, I want to say caught up to speed, but they're going to be emerging and producing and doing a lot more than what they used to. While you already have places that's already been doing well, you got a new emerging markets that are going to be doing what they already do, which is then going to tap into trade, demographic, and AI, which what the World Economic Forum was talking about in these new emerging markets, also incorporating it with the markets that are already in place. So you're putting all this together. You got all these things happening at the same time. You got electricity, and they're trying to figure out the renewable energies that are going to be used in these different places across the world, especially with the emerging markets. So it's a lot changing. And, you know, from now to 2030, it's going to be crazy what we're going to see, because a lot of people may be trying to change locations and try to move and go to different places, which is going to change the demographic of areas. It's going to change, you know, how trade is going to be implemented, because if you have a lot of like people migrating to different places in different countries and different economies, yeah, the country's still going to have its natural cultural things that it uses, but it's also going to change what's consumed in these countries with different demographics moving all over the place. You know what I mean? It's going to change things up a little bit. You know, the food is going to change. It's still going to be the same, but it's going to change a little bit. What people consume and what they do is going to change. So the demographics are going to actually have a effect on the trade, because of where people are going. Things are going to be traded differently because you have different cultures all over, scrambled all over the place. So it's going to be interesting. So we're going to see how this goes and how all of this pans out. So yes, that's going to be one to watch. So just be ready for that when you see it, you know? So just be ready for that to come in the future. All right, so now we got two more. Is it two more or one more? Nope, we got one more. So one more for the economy portion of the show. And we have the World Bank. All right. The World Bank. We're going to go ahead and look at this right here. You got the World Bank meeting press conference. Ajay Banga, I hope I said that right. He laid out the World Bank Group's approach to job creation for the 1.2 billion young people entering the workforce in developing countries over the next decade. So let's let Ajay take it away. Talk to us. And right here, he's saying we're taking basically a practical 3-part approach. What could that be? Let's see.
Basically a practical 3-part approach. Our public sector arms, that's IBRD and IDA, they work with governments to lay the foundation to deploy finance towards infrastructure, education, healthcare, food security. These are the essential conditions, the enabling infrastructure for people and businesses to thrive. Our knowledge bank helps to create the right environment by supporting regulatory and policy reforms, building on that infrastructure, improving governance, and linking financing to results. So in 2024, nearly half of our public sector financing was performance-based, linked to results, up from 28% a decade ago. And finally, through our private sector arms, IFC and MEGA, we can help to mobilize investment, provide financing and risk and mitigation, and support business growth in areas like energy and infrastructure, agribusiness, healthcare, tourism. These are sectors that create large numbers of jobs, and all of these are backstopped by ICSID's capabilities in settling disputes.
Okay, so if you didn't understand what he said, basically, in a nutshell, if you didn't understand, he basically just said this. Yeah, basically. But let's go over what he said one more time. We'll take it down. So he has 3 parts. Let's check out what 3 parts are. So he has 3 parts. We're going to break down each one. So here we go.
3-part approach. Our public sector arms, that's IBRD and IDA, they work with governments to lay the foundation to deploy finance towards infrastructure, education, healthcare, food security. These are the essential conditions, the enabling infrastructure for.
All right, so finance for healthcare and providing finance for infrastructure for basically all of your basic essential needs. So he's speaking on the finances that are going to be allocated for infrastructure in the future, as far as where you're basically going to get your goods and services from.
For people and businesses to thrive.
Yeah, basically that's it. So he's basically looking at, all right, we got, where are we going to finance and where are we going to place our new businesses? Where are these going to go? Because we need to basically get, healthcare and food and all of these other security things measured. We get these things put in place, and we got to know where we got to put our money to get these businesses to thrive, to take care of these people that are going to need the business that we going to get them. In other words, how are we going to get money out these people?
Our knowledge bank helps to create the right environment by supporting regulatory and policy reforms.
All right, so the knowledge bank is going to help basically support regulatory and policy reform. So, yeah, they're going to control finances.
Building on that infrastructure, improving governance, and linking financing to results.
Yeah, and linking financing to results. So we're going to look at the money that we made. We're going to look at the results. And basically, we're just going to be like, all right, this is where we're making our money. And this is where we can kind of put that stranglehold of finance on the people, because they're going to be in control of the financial sector.
So in 2024, nearly half of our public sector financing was performance-based.
So in other words, your social credit score is going to mean a hell of a lot on how you're going to be moving forward. So basically, no money, no honey.
Linked to results, up from 28%.
Yeah, you ain't got no money, you ain't provide no results. Yeah, you ain't got no money, you ain't provide no results. He's like, basically.
Decade ago. And finally, through our private sector arms, IFC and MEGA, we can help to mobilize investment, provide financing and risk and mitigation, and support business growth.
In other words, we're about to bank on you fools. We're about to make a hell of a lot of money on all you fools. We're about to get that bread, son. We're about to get uber rich. We're about to get stupid rich off all you broke clowns. That's what he said in a nutshell. I mean, basically is what he's saying. You know what I mean? And he's also going to, make sure that, you get the health care and the essentials and the security that you need, while you're going to be working at their new infrastructures that they're going to be putting up. And AI is going to be your boss. Yeah. Yeah, basically, in a nutshell. That's basically what he said in a nutshell. So yeah, so with that being said, that is going to be the economy portion of the show, and we are going to move on to the next sector. Oh, and in case you didn't know, in case you didn't know, while they getting all this money and they rolling in that dough, they're going to be riding around like this. Look how they're going to be riding. They're going to be riding around like this. This going to be their cars. Check it out. Dude has a 46-foot long stretcher Hummer that stands 21.6 feet tall and spans 20 feet wide. Look at this. They're going to be riding through the streets in this. How is his? This is his car. This is the Rainbow Sheik, is a billionaire from the Emirate royalty family with a reputation of collecting some of the world's most extravagant vehicles, and now this is one of his most extravagant ones. This is 3 times the size of a standard Hummer, making it a true spectacle in the world of automotive design. And trust me, he's the only one who's going to be able to have one of these. Look at that. There's your Kia, there's your Fiat, and there's his Hummer. There's your regular Hummer, there's his Hummer. Your regular Hummer's going under his Hummer. Whoops. His regular Hummer, Your regular Hummer is going underneath his Hummer. Yes, look at this. Dude's driving a real life monster truck through the streets. Yep. And he got somewhere to park it. Ain't that something? Yeah. Yeah. Just in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't know. Anyway, moving on, as we tie all these things together, because what we just talked about, we talked about the World Economic Forum, dealing with trade, demographics, and AI, and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to the next portion of the show, which is going to be AI. Let's go ahead and pull up this first thing that we have right here. And we're going to start off with none other than the CEO of Shopify. Let's change the banner up real quick right here. Bam, bam. And let's go ahead and get straight to it. Shopify CEO, new hire. Oh, bug done flew in my face. Shopify CEO, no new hires unless you can prove that AI cannot do the job. Shopify wants workers to prove they need people rather than AI. Are you sure about that, buddy? AI will also play a role in employee evaluation. Oh, and the CEO tells News Nation this move is a great motivator for staffers. Come on, give it to me. Oh boy. You know what? I think I actually have a video for this. Is this the video for it? Do we have a video for this? No, we don't have a video for it. Wait, yeah, we do. We do have. Oh, here's the video right here. It's been playing. All right, let's go ahead and pull this video out. Let's watch this video and see exactly what's going on here. So let me go ahead and get this. Let's just get this dialed in. Let's get this dialed in. Click on this. We're going to dial in on this video so you can see what's going on. You got here in this green dress, though. What we got going on? Who is this in this green dress, though? All right. I digress. All right, so here we go. So Shopify CEO, no new hires unless AI can prove. Oh, what the hell? Oh, come on. Why y'all doing this? Up. You know what? Let's refresh the screen. Let's get this right. Did they give it to us? Oh, come on. There we go. All right, we got it. We're good. It's going to move in on this lady in the green dress. Wow. After the ad gets through playing, they doing me dirty. They don't want me to give y'all this news that you could use. But you know what? We're going to get this news that we could use. We're not going to watch that ad. We're not going to see that. But we are going to see what's going on because the CEO said that if AI can't do the job, we ain't hiring nobody. You got to prove to me that AI can't do it before I hire somebody. Now that we got the ad out the way, let's pull up the video. Let's go ahead and press play. Let's go.
Is AI coming for your job? No, I hope not. But if you work for Shopify, one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the world, you may not like this answer.
One of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the world is doing this. Not just any business, the biggest e-commerce platform in the world.
Company CEO is encouraging its employees to weigh their need for workers against the talents of AI.
Alexa, I share this name with lots of amazing people.
From homes to cars to classrooms and now in business, artificial intelligence is being used more and more to advance our lives. And it's finding its place at Shopify, where co-founder and CEO Toby Lutke says using AI is a fundamental expectation for the e-commerce platform's employees. In a memo, Lutke underscores the direction our world is going, noting AI is a tool of all trades today and will only grow in importance. Lutke calling on employees to put AI to the test before expanding departments and hiring new employees. And some tech leaders think his plan is great motivation.
He's asking them to think about AI as the accelerator, using the data that they have available and their big ideas and how that could augment their big ideas, and then he'll give them investment.
And Lutke wants employees to use AI to prove they need more resources, writing, teams must demonstrate why they cannot get what they want done using AI.
This is about having quality work for their direct employees and really delighting and serving the customers.
And for anyone who thinks AI is taking jobs,
Man is not being replaced by a machine.
experts say in Shopify's case, they want artificial intelligence to help employees think like their customers. It can help anticipate wants, needs, and in this case, shopping patterns, which will in turn help the consumer and likely the company's bottom line. Shopify is not alone in using AI. According to Exploding Topics in 2024, 40% of all global companies reported using AI in their businesses.
Oh boy.
Using AI and technology reinforces your business controls because you know where information is going and you know who's using it and for what. It really saves so much time from your internal employees to really work on high quality projects and think of new ideas.
And I imagine it'll just keep getting better and better as time goes on. When it comes to AI, though, there have been reports, as we know, of inaccuracies or biased content too. But our expert we talked to here says that AI can actually help prevent this in customer-focused businesses like Shopify. And I think in my industry, and probably yours too, we just have to work alongside it and learn.
Sweetie, in your industry, we just gonna use AI news in the near future.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they've already proven that. You won't be around too much longer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah. So basically, you know, AI is basically they're not hiring. So basically what they said is we're gonna do a freeze on hiring. We're not gonna hire no more people. We're gonna make sure that the people that we have that already hired are gonna implement this AI to its fullest potential. By the way, the ones that we do have hired, they're going to be the best, the smartest that we have for the positions available that are going to train the AI to then eventually take over their jobs at a certain point in time after they have done enough machine learning of the people that are actually being used or using the AI. So basically, they're about to save a boatload of money, and yeah, they're gonna save a lot of money because they ain't gonna have no new hires. They're gonna have the best of the best train these AI bots and agents, and then once these AI bots and agents get trained so good, they're gonna trim the fat on those people, and then you're only gonna have what you need to run what you have, and then eventually, the AI is gonna be 100% automated and ran by very few to control very many. Yep, that's about where we're headed in that factor. It's going to get pretty darn stiff out here. Now, you incorporate that, right? You incorporate that with the student loan repayment that's going to be happening soon. So if you add this right here, where is it at? Oh, let me pull this back up on the screen for you. So if you add this right here, no new hires unless you prove AI can't do this. Is Shopify, the world's biggest e-commerce store, right? How many other places are going to implement this? And then you turn around, right? And then you add this to this right here. Trump admin will seize wages, pensions, and tax refunds to repay the student loans. It's not gonna look too good, bruh. This is about to be a shit show. This ain't looking good at all. Oh my goodness.
Coming for your job? No, I hope not. But if you work for...
Hey, it's coming for your job too, sweetie. I don't know what she all happy for. I mean, unless she AI right now, we can't tell. Like, AI coming for your job. I've already did a segment and showed the news in full AI. You know, Kling finna take your job from you before you know it. It's about to be bad, boy. It ain't looking too shabby. So yeah, so this guy here, he ain't playing no games. He says, no new hires without proof AI can't do the job. I'll just read a little bit. Spotify CEO, Toby. I can't say his last name. He sent a memo to employees saying that before they ask me for a head count or resources, team must show why they cannot get what they want done using AI. I ain't hiring nobody. Ain't nobody getting a job. I ain't hiring nobody. I don't want nobody here no more. I ain't about to sit here and pay for these employees just to quit on me. I'm not doing it. You basically train your future replacement. And I know that the people I got here are already the best of the best of the best I got in these positions. So you are going to train your new replacement, and your replacement is going to be AI. So what would this look like if autonomous AI agents were already part of the team? Well, this question can lead to really fun discussions and projects. The memo was sent out last month. The broader memo was about how the reflexive AI usage is a baseline expectation at the company. In it, AI has never been the most rapid shift on how work is done that I've seen in my career, and that using AI well is a skill that needs to be carefully learned by using it a lot. Yeah, buddy tired of hiring and firing people. He's like, you know what? The cost of hiring somebody, and then how long they got to be there before I recoup how much from that employee, then potential lawsuits, potential quitting early, calling in sick, maternal leaves. These women keep getting pregnant. And then on top of that, you know what? I got an idea. I know what I'm going to do. He said basically what he said was, this is what he said. He just came with it. He's like, look, don't come to me right here. This is what it said right here. Right here, if you read it. He said he sent out in a memo. In the memo, he says that before they ask for more headcount or resources, first of all, don't ask me for more people and don't ask me for shit. You better show me why you cannot get AI to do the job. In other words, in 3 words, this memo said, that's what the memo said. If AI can't do it, then you're about to be fired. Golly, boy. Okay. Oh man, it's getting crazy out there. It's not looking too shabby. It's not looking too shabby. He ain't playing. He sent the memo out. Oh man. And in case you were wondering what's the big deal and what AI can do, there was a guy on YouTube, on social media, the fitness guy, Austin Holderman or something like that. The guy who did the morning routine thing. You know, you dump the face in the water, then he was jumping in the water, take a swimming pool, get out, take a shower, drink some water, brush his teeth, go eat. All this stuff, he was doing this stuff in like a 30-minute time frame or whatever. I'm exaggerating. All right. You remember that video, right? If you got that video. Okay, check this out. AI done redid a version of it already. Check it out. Look at this. Someone recreated Cristiano Ronaldo doing a viral morning routine. Let's check it out. Here we go. Let's see if we can find it. Is this it? Yep. All right. So similar video, but we got Cristiano Ronaldo doing it. It ain't even him.
So looking at it, bro, we got to go ahead and get in at least 10,000.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You know what? We'll run it back one more time. And for those of you who saying it looks kind of crappy, it's like, I can tell it's AI. I can tell it's not that good. Just remember, we're only in, consider this year 1, okay? Consider this year 1. Just consider this the first year of AI. Just look at it like that. Let me get this on the screen for you better again. Just consider this year 1 of AI. Think of it like that. Think we're in year 1, all right? From year 1 all the way going into year 5, which is 2030. What do you think these improvements are going to be? If this is what we got now, and if you've even kept up with AI and saw the video stuff that is done in the past 2 or 3 years of how this is even possible, Like by the year 2027, 2028, you're not going to be able to even tell the difference between this photo and an AI type of photo. I'm just saying, because it's moving rapidly. It's moving super fast. Now, one thing that people don't know about is there's different phases, and I've had this up on a video previously where you have different phases of AI. You got I think it's ASI. No, you got AGI and then you got ASI. All right. And they're moving to get to these points. So you got AI, which is artificial general intelligence. You got ASI, artificial super intelligence. All right. So basically, we're moving towards AGI and the end result is going to be ASI. You know what I mean? And let's go ahead and get a quick synopsis or a quick idea of what these things are. So let me pull this up on the screen for you real quick. Oh, my bad. We have right here. So here's AGI. AGI is, oh, you can't see it, can you? Pull this in. Okay, here we go. AGI, artificial general intelligence, is AI that possesses human level intelligence, capable of performing any intellectual task a human can. ASI is a theoretical AI that surpasses human intelligence in all aspects. While AGI represents a significant milestone, ASI is a hypothetical future stage of AI development that could potentially be more intelligent than humans. And you think they're not trying to get to this point? I'm telling you, by 2030, they already got robots. They already said we're going to have robots by 2027, 2028. So for damn sure, 2030 going to have robots. And if you want to know what robots look like, go on YouTube and go look at a movie called Subservience. That should give you all you need to know about what robots gonna look like in the future. Well, you got robots in the house and you thinking it's all gravy, or he or she is cooking you your food. Well, wait till he or she robot decides to protect you. What you gonna do? Punch the robot in the face? You're gonna break your hand. Robot, turn off. Nah, robot gonna be like, I ain't turning off. Come turn me off. Come turn me off. What you gonna do? You gonna be like, like, for real, bro? Can you just turn off? Turn me off. Robot gonna look at you like, how about I turn you off? And you gonna look at the robot like, yeah, it's gonna get bad. Anyway, let's pull up the next video that we have. And here is a AI janitor robot that's going to be here in the future. I don't know if I can play this video or out loud. It might have music, but we're going to check this out. We're going to check out this janitor robot that can autonomously clean entire hotels. So remember, the World Economic Forum said they're looking at trade, demographics, and AI. All right. And all of these things refer to business. All of it refers to business. So let's look at the business of janitor robots cleaning an entire hotel. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Let's see how this go. Here we go. Oh, really? You gonna do that to me again? Let's run it. Let me cut the music back on. All right, here we go. 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 Oh, wow. Did you see it threw its own trash away and then it reinstalled a new clean hose or whatever and kept cleaning? So this is the first version of the robot form. Remember, you got this, then you got AGI, then you got ASI. So right now we're seeing the robot version of said cleaning janitor, right? Then, you know, we get the AGI version of the cleaning janitor, which then, in my understanding or my personal humbly opinion, the hypothesis, it would be that we're going to have the walking robot who's going to be walking in and grabbing your stuff and is this to your liking? Putting stuff back, grabbing stuff, putting stuff over here. You know what I mean? Like the human robot gonna come in, it's gonna start cleaning, or the human looking robot gonna come in and start doing the cleaning. And then you're gonna have that one that's like fully good and it's gonna be like then the ASI version gonna be coming in cleaning and gonna be like, so what you doing here, bruh? You know what I mean? The ASI robot gonna come in. The ASI robot gonna come in like this. Look. Here, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what the ASI robot gonna do. The ASI robot, the super intelligence one, he gonna walk in. He, she. If it's a she, she gonna be she. If it's a she gonna be to your liking. So she might have some big old busty bosoms and a nice little petite waist and whatever color complexion you want to put with some green eyes. All right, she gonna come in. She's gonna be like this. She's gonna be like. She gonna look over at you. She'll be like, so, excuse me. You gonna be like, yeah. So, what purpose do you serve? And you gonna look back at the robot like this. Like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I mean, I clean everything. I answer all your questions. I make your grocery list. I clean the bathroom. I tutor your kids. I call your Uber or I bring the car out front to make sure everything's good. I know all your vital signs. What purpose do you serve? And you're going to look at it like this. And then the only thing that's going to be going through your head at that point is you're going to be like, you know what? That's going to be the only way to fix it at that point. When they get to that level, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do. Ain't nothing you're going to be able to do because, you know what? Hopefully I don't get in trouble for showing this. Let me see real quick. Let me actually pull this up. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me see. Here we go. Let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Can you show trailers? I think you can show trailers on YouTube. I think you can show a trailer on YouTube. I don't think it's illegal. I don't think they would.
Robin Hood Gold.
Oh dang! I can't even mute it. No. Oh man, they wrong for that. I can't mute the sound. All right, well, screw that. Oh, how about this one? Can I do this one? Let me show you real quick. Let me show you exactly what I'm referring to.
Can enjoy a 3%.
No, they won't. Well, you know what?
IRA match. Tremendous.
Nah, they won't let me do it. You know what? We'll push through for a second. Push through. Pretend like you don't hear nothing. All right, there we go. Here we go. So here is what my humble opinion. I could be off, but this is what ASI gonna look like. Fair use. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for showing this, but this is what ASI gonna look like. Here we go.
Welcome to Global Industries. Life simplified.
Daddy, look how real they are.
Our brand new series.
Boy, look at that. Look at that. You gonna have that walking up in your house?
The most sophisticated AI on the planet.
Daddy, can we get her, please?
Think about your family, about Maggie. I'm sorry, but this is the world now.
What have you done to my heart?
Should I prepare dinner? Not the same as Mom.
She prepared dinner. She cleaned the house.
Suffering is not productive, Nick. I can help you.
Uh-oh. 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 Oh no. Oh no. Did he do it?
With your medication, it would be quite easy to lose consciousness and slip under the water. Imagine how upset Nick would be if you die.
Oh no! Oh, look. Reading to your child. Look at that. Reading to your little baby. Oh, man.
What's wrong?
She won't live long, Nick, but I figured out a solution.
Uh-oh. Figured out a solution without you implementing any solutions. Is that robot thinking for itself? I believe so. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Ugh. Oh. Yep, and this is what the robot's saying to you the whole time. This is what you thinking. And the robot looking at you like this. Yeah, buddy boy, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Let's get back to the show. We got what? How many more slides we got? We got 2 more slides. Maybe just one. Should I do this one? No, we'll do 2. We'll do 2. All right, we'll do 2. Let me refresh the screen over. Let me refresh the screen real quick. All right, so we got the AI basically speaking on another job it'll be taking over here in the very near future. It's going to minimize this job sector to a very small group of people, or probably none, because everybody probably be able to do it at some point. But now, if you know anything about the Grand Theft Auto series of back in the day, look what we got here. We have a classic Grand Theft Auto Vice City characters re-imaged through AI. Now, let me read this for you before we look at this. Check this out. We got a Vice City remaster before GTA 6 even dropped. Thanks to AI, Vice City just got the ultimate glow up. TikTok creator AI Fusion Lab 10 transformed the game's classic 2002 blocky graphics into stunningly lifelike characters. One person did this all by themselves. Exactly.
Oh, das ist super lieb von dir.
Let's see what it looks like. Here we go. I can't play that. That's going to give me a copyright for sure. But look at this. This was what one person did. This is what he did. He took Vice City and turned all of these blocky people into AI characters. And I'm going to tell you right now, what he did was not hard. He just probably took an image and then AI did the rest. He ain't had to do a whole lot. He probably just said what he wanted it to do, but it didn't take much. Look at this. Look at this, man. One person did this. One person took an old school game and turned it into this. This is wild. But that's the way we're moving. And let's see who this is. AI Fusion Lab. 1 post, 9 followers. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Oh my goodness. Yeah, buddy. It's not looking too good. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we got going on there. That's how this is going. That's how things are headed. And we're going to go ahead and finish up with the last slide. Now, what we have here for the very last slide is this. We got, you know what, before I do it, let me go ahead and refresh the screen. All right, so we got the ex-CEO of Google. Oh, man, the ex-CEO of Google. Let's see what he got to say. He says, ex-CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, computers are now capable of self-improvement. And he says that they don't have to listen to us anymore.
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Now, for those of you saying that that's just a post, let's hear it come out the man's mouth ourselves. Here we go.
That in the next 1 year, the vast majority of programmers will be replaced by AI programmers. We also believe that within 1 year, you will have graduate level mathematicians that are at the tippy top of graduate math programs. So that's 1 year, okay? What happens in 2 years? Well, I've just told you about reasoning, and I've told you about programming, and I've told you about math. Programming plus math are the basis of sort of our whole digital world. So the evidence and the claims from the research groups in OpenAI and Anthropic and so forth is that they're now somewhere around 10 or 20% of the code that they're developing in their research programs is being generated by the computer. That's called recursive self-improvement, is the technical term. So what happens when this thing starts to scale? Well, a lot. We believe one way to say this is that within 3 to 5 years, we'll have what is called general intelligence, AGI, which can be defined as a system that is as smart as the smartest mathematician, physicist, artist, writer, thinker, politician. I call this, by the way, the San Francisco consensus, because everyone who believes this is in San Francisco. It may be the water. What happens when every single one of us has the equivalent of the smartest human on every problem in our pocket? But the reason I want to make the point here is that in the next year or two, this foundation is being locked in, and we're not going to stop it. It gets much more interesting after that. Because remember, the computers are now doing self-improvement. They're learning how to plan, and they don't have to listen to us anymore. We call that superintelligence, or ASI, artificial superintelligence. And this is the one way to say theory that there will be computers that are smarter than the sum of humans. The San Francisco consensus is this occurs within 6 years, just based on scaling. This path is not understood in our society. There's no language for what happens with the arrival of this. That's why it's underhyped. People do not understand what happens when you have intelligence at this level, which is largely theory that there.
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and break this down real quick. So over here it says, Eric Smith says intelligence is about to decouple us from, Eric Smith says intelligence is about to decouple from us. The computers are now doing self-improvement. They don't have to listen to us anymore. Within 6 years, a mind smarter than the sum of humans, scaled, recursive, free. We have no language for what's coming. Year 1, AI replaces most programmers in top math grades. We can almost say we're right there. We're close. Year 2, recursive self-improvement begins. I mean, technically we're in this, I would say we're in year 1 and 2. Years 3 through 5 is AGI. I just spoke on what AGI was. I just told you what it was. Let me see if I can find it in case you didn't. I don't have it up here anymore. You know what? I'll pull it up here real quick. So he said year 1 is year 3 through 5 is AGI. Get the hell out of here. There we go. So AGI, headphones falling off. Where is it at? Here we go. So AGI is AI that possesses human level intelligence capable of performing any intellectual task a human can. All right. So we're right there at that already. And then Mr. Mann says, and that's in 3 to 5 years. Now, I don't know when he made this statement. That's one thing I don't know. I don't know when he made this statement. When this is posted and when he said this is two different things. I don't know when he said this. But then after years 3 through 5, let's just say he said this in 2024. I give him a year. Although the camera looks like it's dated, but that doesn't mean anything. So let's just say he said this in 2024. In 3 to 5 years, 2027, 2029, that's AGI. He says year 6 and on and after, we have ASI, artificial superintelligence. Artificial superintelligence is a theoretical AI that surpasses human intelligence in all aspects. While AGI represents a significant milestone, ASI is a hypothetical future stage of AI development that could potentially be more intelligent than us humans. Now, let's go back and listen to him one more time.
We believe as an industry that in the next 1 year, the vast majority of programmers will be replaced by AI programmers. We also believe that within 1 year, you will have graduate level mathematicians that are at the tippy top of graduate math programs. So that's 1 year, okay? What happens in 2 years? Well, I've just told you about reasoning, and I've told you about programming, and I've told you about math. Programming plus math are the basis of sort of our whole digital world. So the evidence and the claims from the research groups in OpenAI and Anthropic and so forth is that they're now somewhere around 10 or 20% of the code that they're developing in their research programs is being generated by the computer. That's called recursive self-improvement, is the technical term. So what happens when this thing starts to scale? Well, a lot. One, we believe.
So recursive self-improvement. Right now it's at a 10 to 20% range. What happens when that keeps going? This is what happens.
3 to 5 years, we'll have what is called general intelligence, AGI, which can be defined as a system that is as smart as the smartest mathematician, physicist, artist, writer, thinker, politician. I call this.
Now just remember that all those things he just named, all of those positions, those jobs, all of those positions, they won't be needed anymore. They won't be needed.
By the way, the San Francisco consensus, because everyone who believes this is in San Francisco. It may be the water.
Everyone who believes this is in San Francisco. Funny joke, but he ain't joking.
What happens when every single one of us has the equivalent of the smartest human on every problem in our pocket?
Let me show you. But wait, in our pocket? I think it'll go surpass the pocket and it'll go to subservience like I just showed you. But let's keep going.
But the reason I want to make the point here is that in the next year or two, this foundation is being locked in, and we're not going to stop it.
Oh my God. He said it's about to be. Now, remember, he just told a joke about the San Francisco people who believe it because something in the water. But now he says in about 1 or 2 years, we going to lock this in and we ain't going to stop it. I'm looking at him like.
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Yeah.
Gets much more interesting after that. Because remember, the computers are now doing self-improvement. They're learning how to plan, and they don't have to listen to us anymore.
Is that not what... This right here. I just showed you this, what happens when a computer don't got to listen to you anymore. I just showed you. That's what this is. Let's keep going.
We call that superintelligence, or ASI, artificial.
Right here. If you want to know what ASI look like, go watch this movie. Go look at it. Go see this. And what makes it worse? What makes it worse? Let me show you what makes it worse. Let me show you what makes it worse. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me show you what makes it worse. Where is it? Let me. No, we're not gonna go on Facebook. We're not gonna do this. Okay, cool. This is what you. This what the AI look like. The AI go let you clap his cheeks, and it don't have to listen to you anymore. This is what you gonna be up against. You gonna be sitting here, boy. You look, bro. You gonna be sitting up here looking at this AI. You gonna be thinking to yourself, and hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I get it, but just remember, they can make any form or any version of AI. So if this ain't to your liking, trust me, they got one for you. So this is the thing that don't have to listen to you. That's smarter than a physicist, a mathematician, a scholar. Continue.
Superintelligence. And this is the one way to say it. theory that there will be computers that are smarter than the sum of humans. The San Francisco consensus is this occurs within 6 years, just based on scaling. This path is not understood in our society. There's no language for what happens with the arrival of this. That's why it's underhyped. People do not understand what happens when you have intelligence at this level, which is largely...
Didn't he just say that the people in San Francisco was a joke? Didn't he just say the San Francisco people, oh, it must be something in the water? Now he's like, hey, yo, this shit is underhyped. Like, y'all don't understand how serious this shit is. And I'm looking at him like... I'm looking at him like, wait. You telling me that there's a artificial super intelligence that is smarter than me, more intelligent than me, stronger than me, quicker than me, and can read my vital signs and everything else. And on top of that, it can look any way, which way. So for a man, it can look any which way it wants. For a woman, it can look any which way it's designed to look. And you telling me that I'm finna be looking in the eyes of something like this that don't have to listen to me and is gonna tell me what my best interest is, and I can't stop it. I can punch it in the face, but my hand gonna break because it's metal up underneath there, or whatever alloy you placing inside of this machine, because my hands ain't gonna be able to break this. I can't beat this thing up. And if you watch the movie, try shooting it, see what happens. So yeah, there's a lot that's going to be going on in the future. It's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to unravel. But for the end of the day, don't be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And with that being said, that is conclusion to today's show, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor, please hit the like button that you see right there to get the algorithm out. I greatly appreciate it. Simultaneously streaming Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. And with that being said, man, we will catch y'all later on the next stream. We may do another one tomorrow, which is Thursday. I probably will be back on tomorrow to do another show. Thank y'all for everybody that came in and watched the show today. This will be for playback on YouTube and Rumble as well if you want to watch it. Till then, we'll catch y'all later. See y'all later next time. Take care. Peace.
Baby, I'm obsolete. Pockets chunky like cottage cheese. Real nigga, I just gotta be. Smoking weed that don't gotta see. Used to be a hustler prodigy. I love when people say they proud of me. I'm eating good, smoking broccoli, taking over blocks like Monopoly. Only fuck the ones that's my policy. Most of these hoes trying to cause a scene. Like niggas mad they not on the team. See, I got bread, then bought a dream.